You are absolute scum, and I hate you.
Sean McLaughlin, also known as Jacksepticeye, is one of the most well-known and most beloved YouTube creators of all time on the platform. Well known for his witty humor, positive mental attitude, and diverse content. So when situations arise, like the one revolving around the sensitive topic of his father passing away, it's a shock that it's even happening. I'll be the first to admit that I didn't notice the trolling right away when it happened, as well as the harassment that happened on Twitter. I don't think I even had an account on Twitter at that time, and I've only seen a few creators even cover the subject.
Because losing your dad is a weird, like, facing of your mortality, I think. You see a lot of yourself in your parents. So when something like that happens, it hits you extra hard, and trying to figure out where I fit in everything has just kind of been on my mind, and what's important to me and what I want to do going forward, basically. To any of you who showed support, or any of you who sent me messages, or anybody who was sending any sort of thoughts or love my way and my family's way during this time, I really appreciate it. Thank you. It was very, very sweet and kind of you to do. To any of you who posted memes about it and posted negative stuff about it, you are absolute scum, and I fucking hate you, because you made something that was hard so much harder to go through. And being a person of influence online, it's sort of hard to avoid a lot of things.
But from the original video released by Sean addressing the trolling and talking about the loss of his father being 7 months ago, you would think that maybe people would have found some compassion and the issue would be resolved now, right? Well, unfortunately, this is the internet, and sadly, it is still ongoing. At the time I was originally doing research for this video, I found a video that was a whopping 2 days old. At time of recording, maybe only a week old. And the really unfortunate thing is that new videos seem to be cropping up all the time. But what I mean by that is that these creators are placing large chunks of metadata into their descriptions to get them to come up in searches where they were not coming up for. I will of course be blocking all of the names and faces out on any screenshots of videos that I include, not only to not give them the attention that they ordered, but because all of these videos seem to be made by children. So as you can see from this one example that I will have up on the screen, it is just a mass spamming of Jacksepticeye's channel name in every single way, shape, and form that they could possibly think of. I have no idea where this originated from, but it does appear to have become a little bit of a copy pasta in a sense at this point, as in all of the videos that are still doing these really nasty videos are essentially, they're copying this one description chunk and like just putting it in the description of all of their videos. They do all seem to be pretty much the same. The point of spamming all of this metadata into their description is purely in the hopes that the videos will get views, and to a point, unfortunately, they do. So when stories like this pop up that involve kids on the internet and we see them doing crazy and sometimes even harmful things, the question arises, why? In this day and age of being online and the never-ending search for attention, popularity, and clout, I think that kids especially have become driven to do things online that they wouldn't normally do. The lure of anonymity and popularity online is enormous in order to get those sweet, sweet, juicy internet points. And I'm sure that we can all think of a few adults that would even or have fallen to that kind of mindset, anything for views, which is exactly what they're doing. But being able to hide behind cringy Gacha Life animations clipped with terrible animation in the background, or hiding your face with half a bandana while claiming that drinking someone's ashes is satire, and all eyes are on them for that one moment, and they got what they wanted. Attention. Now, y'all know I don't like to speculate on people's like mental health or their home life or anything like that, but I do think something has to be kind of, in a sense, broken there for these kids to seriously seem to be enjoying being so mean to someone that they don't even know. Maybe some of these kids have really strict parents and everything outside of their computer or their phone is really heavily regulated or, kept an eye on. And this is their way of trying to rebel by creating shock content on YouTube. But it does seem hypocritical that these videos, even 7 months later, are still up when they pretty clearly violate YouTube's terms of service. It is the most clear definition of targeted harassment and the grossest one that I think I've ever seen personally. So another question comes up. Why are the videos still on the platform? What I think it really boils down to, and this is just my own personal theory, is that all of these channels, from what I could determine, are very small. They are less than 1,000 subscribers, which is what you need to become monetized. And even if they did want to become monetized, I don't think that that would be possible with the kind of just shock content that these channels are trying to just kind of farm out. Every next horrible thing that happens, they're making the same type of video about it and releasing it. It's purely there to try and make people upset. So when it comes to really harmful videos like this, what are our options? I really think that the only options that we have are just a couple. Either ignore the video completely, don't interact with it, even if it's to outrage comment on it, to tell them, wow, this is really messed up. You shouldn't be doing this. How old are you? And where are your parents? I wouldn't recommend interacting at all. Reporting the video, of course, is an option. I feel always kind of weird about that, but we can always hold out hope that one day these kids will get old enough to realize that what they were doing was awful and be mature enough to remove the videos from the platform themselves. The main thing to take away from this is how we view large creators. It seems like at some point when the number gets to such a large number, we stop viewing them as people. And particularly kids, I think, have a really hard time viewing large creators as actual people because they seem so far removed from anything that is, directly within what they would consider to be their world, I guess, would be the only way to phrase it. I think it's really, really important for us to remember that even with Sean's massive audience and loyal following and all of the really kind words and support that he's gotten, that the cruelest words are always going to cut the deepest. And that's really what it boils down to, is that these kids don't see large creators as actual people. They see them, like a celebrity. I think a lot of us tend to view celebrities as like they're not actual people. But the truth of the matter is that they are just people like us. Granted, probably better looking than a majority of us are. But they're still people. It doesn't mean that they don't have emotions or struggles, hardships, all that. They go through the same things that a lot of us go through. Just because that they have become successful in what they're doing does not make them no longer a person. And that kids really view large creators and maybe even larger issues as so far outside of themselves that they just can't bring themselves to sympathize or understand the consequences of the damage that they're doing. Getting a reaction from their trolling is the only thing that they can really see immediately. And they want the attention from it, no matter if it's good or bad. Well, I think that about does it for this video. I know that it was not as long as one of my usual videos, but it is something that I genuinely did want to talk about, seeing as I am actually a massive Jacksepticeye fan myself. I do genuinely really like Sean, and I do really like his content, and the fact that he does seem to be such a genuine and nice person, and that this has been happening to him and is still ongoing, is really truly infuriating for me to watch happen. And it's just a sad situation all around. I hope that these trolls can move on and decide to do something else, but unfortunately that might end up just being harassing someone else. Fingers crossed that it's not, but we all know how that goes. But until next time, I have been Linux, and I will see all of you guys real soon in a new video. Take care.